It is just too pretty to fly.
Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Planes. So yesterday I was watching a little bit of Pilot Ryan, his live stream, and unfortunately he had a bad internet connection, so he kept getting froze, and then we would hear audio only. And anyways, one of the guys in the open chat discussion said, "I'm not worried about it freezing. I'm just enjoying reading the live chat." So that gave me an idea. I'm going to read about 10 minutes of your guys' comments and try to answer them. So here we go, huh? Let me get rid of that guy. So, got to get these on. So I'm able to select comments that I haven't responded to, and you can pick them if you want to read comments from certain videos or just all the comments. So I'm going to go to all the comments. The newest one is from 2 hours ago, and we'll go back in time about, I don't know, let's see. Here's 8 days ago. Well, 8 days ago. And this video was a short video. It says flying airplanes, several bunch of good people. So that was last weekend. And I'm going to butcher this guy's his screen name on here, but it says Corty Boy is Goofy. And he just wrote pretty. So, hey, thank you, man. Yes, it was a good day out there. And DSLEXIC pilot, Captain Hardaway. Dyslexic, I get it now. I love it. His screen name on here is spelled DSLEXIC. I'm like, what? And now I get it. Dyslexic pilot is Captain Hardaway. So I love it. And he had commented on the same video saying, looks like nice weather. We've got nothing but wind and bad weather. I got nothing to fly now, so happy flying. What happened to your planes? Did we have a bad day or something? So we'll respond back to that and said thank you. And the next one is from Dan Calhoun. Sean, use a square instead of a caliper. And this was on me measuring the center of gravity. Use a square instead of a caliper. Oh, I know. Yep. All I have is a caliper or a ruler to figure out how far we need to go back for the from the leading edge. I think that plane said like the center of gravity was between like 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. And I just grabbed a caliper, and yeah, I should have used something else. Good idea. And then, hey, this is my cousin, Tanya Overton. She says, nice, Sean. That's awesome. So Tanya is my cousin. She lives in California, or maybe she does now. I haven't spoke to her in quite a while, but I saw her dad, which is my Uncle Bud, quite a bit when I was moving my mom to Tennessee. My Uncle Bud was and Aunt Rita were at my mom's house for nearly a year, helping her and her husband out. So Uncle Bud was awesome. But she says, nice, Sean. That was 6 days ago. In my stats of YouTube, I'm able to pick, or I'm able to see who subscribes, the age range and where they subscribe from, what country, what city. I can see all kinds of stuff like that. And I see like 99.8% male. And then there's a little sliver of females. So maybe Tanya is the sliver. And the next one is from Randy BRC. I love reading comments from him. He says, good flight, Sean, especially for the first time out this season. Many more successful flights ahead. Yes, thank you. That was the Edge 540. And he also said, nice controlled flying at minimum altitude. Yep, I did lucky on that one. Got good. And JCB 67 says, nice flight, good looking 540. Yeah, the Edge 540 from Tower Hobbies is a good looking plane. It's a balsa plywood ARF. I think it's discontinued, but there's a plane that looks just like it at Tower Hobbies, and it might be a name brand of Phoenix, maybe. It looks really similar to it. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but it looks like it. And next comment is from Tracy Jackson. Says, Sean, audio needs some help. Yeah, I've been working on that. Trust me, guys, I've been working on it. Pork chop. He says, is the Spectrum update cable the same as the Spectrum program cable? Yes, if it has a USB plug on one side that you would plug into your computer, and on the other side it's a servo plug, then yes, that's the same program cable, update cable for your receivers, the Spectrum DXE, anything that needs to be programmed with a servo plug. Yes, that's the same. And then Travis Taylor says, where would be a good place to pick up the motor mount for the, I think it's 1208 and 1208B motors? And he's commenting on the E-Flight UMX Turbo Timber. And I know what he's talking about. I wish I had one right here to show you. I don't. The best place to pick that up is going to be directly from Horizon Hobby or Tower Hobbies, and you can find it on eBay and stuff. Maybe you have a local hobby shop. Always buy from our Tower Hobbies and our Horizon Hobby. They're the same company. But if they don't have it, or you just don't want to, you can always go to their website, look for what you want to buy, get the part number, and then now you can go to Amazon and type directly in that part number, or eBay or something. A lot of people, including me, are Amazon Prime members. I pay the whatever it is, $12 a month, and then that gives you free shipping on every single thing they sell. So that motor mount is 100% for sale on Amazon, and it's probably still from Horizon, but Horizon is selling on Amazon. And if you buy that motor mount from Horizon for, I'm just guessing, $6 or something, I'm sure there's $5 shipping, but you might find it on Amazon for the $6. And if you're a Prime member, then there's no shipping. So look on Horizon or Tower Hobbies, get the part number, then you can look on other websites. And then JCB67, he says, looks good, nice idea. And he was talking about how on this plane here, the Avios King Twin 1700, on the elevator control surfaces, I took a clear piece of a vinyl and used it as a taped hinge, and I just folded the big piece of clear laminate right down in the hinge point and all that, and it strengthened it up. So yes, that's a good idea. My voice is getting dry here. Lorraine Wilson, this might be the other 0.2% female. I sure hope I didn't mess that up. Says, thank you, Sean. I've often seen these in videos, but never been able to find them in Australia now. I've got the details to follow up and try to find them overseas. Okay, talking about the blue and yellow airplane stand that Henry gave me. Yeah, that's a cool stand. It's called Stand Box, and I guess it was intended for gliders. You can put your airplane on top of it, and you can slide the wing in the bottom of it. You can strap it all together, and then carry your whole plane like a suitcase. And then when you put it in your car in the back of the SUV or minivan or something, then it's all tied up in one bunch. Instead of putting several different pieces in there, it's one big suitcase kind of thing. Tom D says, he says, sure gut, homie. Yep, good idea. Eric Bullock says, do the voice alerts get transferred also, or do you have to program them? Now he's referring back to how we did the video on transferring your models from your DX transmitter to an NX transmitter. No, the audio won't get transferred. The audio in the NX is already there unless you add it differently. So if, for example, if you flip the switch and your landing gear goes down and you've also programmed it to say landing gear down when you flip your switch, it's not going to say that. Only your model file on what you've programmed is going to get transferred. The audio will be separate. So you'll just have to reassign your audio alert to whatever switch or whatever function you were doing. And then JCB67 again says, nice explanation. That was about the same thing, importing the models from the DX to the NX. Jim Worley says, good explanation, Sean. Thank you. On the same video. Here's my dad. He says, too funny. You've started talking to groundhogs. Yeah, I did a little short video. There's a groundhog at my work. There's 2 of them. And they've been there for at least 3 years now. And they've got some holes where they live, and they come out and feed in the grass, and every now and again we see them. So I filmed them and said, hey, is there going to be 2 more weeks of winter? And he ducked back in his hole. Georgie in UFC 1 day ago says, you should really do a full control surface check after the import and before the first flight to make sure everything works correctly. And that was on the video again from transferring your model from the DX transmitter to the NX transmitter. A lot of people have a DX transmitter now, a DX6, a 7, 8, a 9, and you've created your models. You know, this switch lowers the landing gear, this switch changes your dual rates, whatever you have personally programmed and customized for your plane. And then people are moving to the newer transmitters, the NX lineup. And we did the video on how you transfer what you've created in your DX, you can transfer it to the NX. And yes, after you do that, you need to rebind the plane and then definitely check everything out before you fly. Make sure when you flip this switch that the flaps go down and this switch does that, and double, triple check. Don't just think, don't rely on it 1,000%. Make sure. So that's good advice. Jordan Coleman says, I'm getting away from Spectrum, not digging, having to prostitute myself every time I want to pick up a new receiver. Says, plus my farts no longer make sound. So that's a good one. So I guess he's trying to say that the receivers are expensive. I guess they are compared to others. However, if you don't want the AS3X and you don't want the Safe Select and you don't want the capability to program them like we're able to do, you can get a Spectrum 8-channel receiver for $30. But it's all the other stuff that comes in it. And here's a good way to get receivers, guys. Being that we can buy an airplane from eFlight, and it comes with a Spectrum AS3X 6-channel telemetry capable receiver. There are planes out there for like $220 that come with that receiver in it. You can buy the plane, take the receiver out, and you can sell the plane on eBay for like $30 less than you paid for it. So I mean, that's something to do. The Air Tractor comes with the 6-channel AR637 TA receiver, like $300. The receiver by itself is $100. You can buy the plane, take the receiver out, and I know you can sell the plane for $250, easy. And Scott Rupp says, I tried hooking the cable to the voltage port. Let me go back. So he's talking about my latest video, how I took the AR637TA out of my SIG Edgestra so that I could put it in here. And I programmed the 637TA using forward programming for my Edgestra. Well, being that I was going to take that receiver out and I put another one in there, I didn't want to have to reprogram it all, the throws, the gains, I mean, everything. So I was able to get my laptop, connect to the Spectrum programmer, and then connect the Spectrum USB update cable to the 637TA, and then pull that whole profile out of the receiver, save it in my computer and to a memory card, and then the receiver that I put in the SIG Edgestra, I plugged the cable back into it and put the program into it, just as if you are programming a bind and fly from the from the Google Drive file Spectrum Share. Just when you get a receiver and you want to get the file from a certain plane and you program it into your receiver, that's what I did. I just took it out of my 637 into my computer, and then from my computer into the 630 that's in there now. So he says, I tried hooking the cable to the voltage port. Mine shows voltage on my transmitter approximately 3 volts less than what battery actually is. Can't figure it out. So I unhooked it, found very little on the internet, no solutions. Any idea why it won't read right? And I'm trying to make sense on everything what he's trying to say here, because the video is just what I described, how I took what I programmed, put it in the 637, then I pulled it out and put it in the 630. He's saying I tried hooking the cable. Okay, I know what he's talking about now. The reason I put the 637 in here is because I want to be able to read my battery voltage pack on my transmitter through the little battery voltage lead plugged into the telemetry port on the receiver. And he's saying that he did that and it's showing 3 volts less. Good idea for a video. We'll do that after this one. Next, so this is from Ronnie Sawaza, 15 hours ago. He says, Sean, a question. I have the DX8. Now between the NX and the DX, is there a big difference, or is the NX just a new model? So I don't know anything about the NX10, so let's not talk about that. But I've had the NX6 and the NX8. I still have a NX6. As far as the transmitter itself, the gimbals, the switches, the capabilities of what options, they're pretty much all the same. The NX lineup has a couple more functions that make things easier on us. It's Wi-Fi capable, so when you want to update your transmitter, you don't have to put a memory card in your computer, then a memory card in your transmitter. You can do it all over the Wi-Fi, just like your phone, your tablet. If you buy an eFlight bind and fly model and you don't want to read the instruction manual and program your transmitter for this switch, negative 100% this way, 100% that way, does the landing gear or what have you, you can grab your NX transmitter and go to add new model, and then every plane that eFlight makes is already in your transmitter. You can just select it. You can use your transmitter a whole lot easier for a simulator. The other ones are capable, but this is faster. As far as the transmitter itself, the gimbals, the switches, the capability, all the same. There's just a couple extra things to make things easier. Now the 10, that probably has some, better gimbals and stuff like that. And Randy B again says, good lesson and good luck with your big twin. I know, we got to talk about this thing, guys. Dave Garbett, buddy in overseas across the pond there, says, brilliant job, mate. Thank you very much for doing that. That was transferring the files for him. And that was the DX transmitter putting his files into the NX. JCB67 says, thumbs up. Dave Garbett again says, I got another question for you. So I bought the Sirius S22T bind and fly. So do I still need to set up the dual rates in Expo? High rate, low rate, throttle cut, safe, AS3X, etc. I've never bought a bind and fly, only a ready to fly. No, you don't have to set up anything. Your plane is already good to go. You just need to put the Cirrus in your transmitter. So with the NX transmitter, you can add new model, find the Cirrus in the list, and bam, add it. And then you'll just have to look and see what the switches do. What switch does high and low rates and all that. And Jim Worley says, tried this, Sean, with my Extreme 300. When I bound to the 630 and put into safe, the elevator went to full up position. When I turn safe off, it goes to normal. Weird. And that was how I talked about with the Edster here, how I pulled out my model files from the 637 and put it into the 630. So he's telling me to something went wrong with his. So I'm going to make sure I check everything out before that gets flight again. Richard Hensley says, nice plane 2 hours ago. He also says, I'm going to go with the Flex Innovation in the X8 on my next big plane. Yep, Flex Innovation makes some good planes, guys. Have you ever heard of the Mamba, the biplane? There's a couple of them. They got some cool planes. And he also says, who won the free plane? I didn't see that on your website. So that was several months back, and I'd have to look back in the archives to find out exactly who won it. But we gave away three gifts: the FMS Avanti, uh, a cordless soldering iron, and a windsock. And then we'll give another jet away and some other stuff when we reach 5,000 subscribers. So that brings us current, guys. Unless let me refresh and see if there's anything else. And nope, that brings us current. So thought that was kind of cool to do. But I tell you what, stay tuned for the next video on checking out the voltage in that 637 TA. All right, guys. Hey, thank you. Subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up, man. That goes a long, long, long ways. And until next time, you'll see me here. Thank you, guys.